you ready? All right. Good evening. I will call this September 11th Board of Trustees meeting to order. Please rise. And Trustee Clark, would you please lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would you please remain standing for a moment of silent reflection on the significance of today, September 11th? Thank you. Okay. And Clerk Blau, would you please call the roll?
Trustee Clark? Present. Trustee Drapka?
Present and accounted for.
Trustee Hollenbach?
Present.
Trustee Lover?
Present.
Supervisor Wilt?
Present.
Let the records know Clerk Blau's in attendance also.
Good, thank you. You have the minutes of the August 28th board meeting.
Motion to approve?
I have a motion by Trustee Clark to approve the
I'll
minutes.
second it. You can.
You can't, you weren't here.
You weren't present. I'll second that.
Thank you. Trustee Hollenbach seconds. Are there any additions or corrections or any discussion to these minutes? Hearing none, then all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. Motion is carried. Thank you. And communications.
I have no communications this evening.
Okay. We have no visitors, so there's no visitors' remarks. Supervisors' report. I just want to call your attention, if you carefully look at the general ledger accounts each month, you may find that there were some sudden changes. This month, the accountants had accidentally attributed certain expenditures, mostly in the area of the travel expense of the assessor and some of the expenditures for our various seniors, since we have 3 different budget items, so they had put some things in the wrong spot. This does not require any kind of a budgetary transfer because the budgets are correct, but you'll find that the numbers may suddenly have jumped, and that is why. The appraisal of the building has apparently been done every 3 years. I just learned that. Our insurance carrier, Torma, likes to have it reevaluated every 3 years to make sure that we're properly insuring the property. They will do that assessment, but it's my understanding that for at least the last 12 or 15 years, we get a separate appraisal for the building. I think one is for an arm's length assessment of the value, and the other is because of the uniqueness of the building. So it seems that all the last 3 invoices that I saw were for $500. I don't anticipate it'll be any more. This just came up, but I'm just letting you know that we will be having an appraisal of the building for insurance purposes. Sound management, our discussion last month about, or at the last meeting, I should say, which was last month, about the possible acoustical panels here, prompted a commentary actually from the TV board, indicating that if we are addressing acoustics, the auditorium might be one that we look at also. Now if we're talking about the aesthetics of a room, that's, we don't want to really mess with that because it is such a beautiful room. However, in passing, I ran into Alan Goodcase, who has done some of our other sound materials, and he indicated that actually there are some speakers that are available for just such a situation. that bounce the sound actually toward the floor rather than the walls, so you don't have the same reverberations. So I'm probably going to have him take a look at whether that is a possibility, and I would, of course, come to you because I expect that'll be a relatively pricey proposition. But I just wanted you to know that that discussion has come up. We don't specifically have anything about it yet, but like I said, the commentary did come up.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
But sometimes right, because
Exactly.
the acoustics sometimes aren't that great in there.
Right. And some fabric, perhaps we can do something in terms of draping at the windows or something like that. Anytime you get into fabric, it's a little better acoustically. So that'll be another project we'll be looking at. The Blythe Park PTA, whose use of the building was brought up at our last meeting and approved, has already provided the insurance certificate showing us as covered under their policy. They have applied for the village's, they've applied for the permit to serve alcohol through the village, and as soon as they have that, they'll be applying for the state license. So we should be in good shape on that. So
My kids go to Blythe Park.
Yes.
And they've traditionally gone to Riverside Country Club and spent a lot of money. And this is the exact kind of activity that we're looking to open up Township Hall for, because now they won't have to pay for the room.
Right.
It'll be a very beneficial to that local group.
right.
Excuse me, can you sign in, please? I'm trying. I just don't want to be disturbed.
Oh, no, that's okay, right, yeah, at the back. Okay, and so that one is moving along, our test case, our first case. And I also just want to say I keep getting calls from the gentleman who does all the communications for the for another township and works with a couple of other townships. So I'd like to get back, now that we're in fall, to figure out what exactly we want to do in terms of communications, what kind of next steps we want to take. So we should probably get together again on that topic in the fairly near future. Other than that, it's been a short period since our last meeting, so I don't have a whole lot more. Oh, one other thing. There was some question last meeting about the children's theater program and whether that would conflict with the radio players, and it will not. They've picked, yes, opposite dates, so they will both be able to do a Friday night, and then, of course, the theater group will also do Saturday, Sunday. If you have any questions of me, you know where to find me. And trustees' reports. Trustee, yeah.
What our visitor has to say.
Sure. Is there a particular topic that you're here for? No?
My name is James Wolf-Markham. I own a house in the village.
Can you go to the mic so
they can hear the TV.
Sorry.
Planning on being on TV.
Oh, no, I mean, we weren't sure if you were here for a specific topic there. We had just skipped visitors' remarks, so we wanted you to have the opportunity. You're not here for that? Okay. I wasn't discouraging it. I just wanted to make sure. Yes, it is.
To justify my
No.
presence here, I don't think.
No, not at all.
I
No.
live in the village. I own a house here. I want to find out more about how the village is run, how you all make decisions.
Okay.
And so you'll be seeing a lot of me from that.
That's wonderful.
Realize we're the township.
So we,
Making Riverside part of the township.
right, yes.
That's what
No, no, I'm sorry. Just to clarify, nobody is putting you on the spot. We usually only get visitors when they're here for a particular topic on the agenda. You are most welcome. We're glad to have you here. We just wanted to give you the opportunity, since we had passed the item for visitors' remarks just before you walked in, so we wanted to give you. You're very welcome. Okay, thank you. We will move on to trustees' reports. Trustee Clark, did you have anything for us this evening?
Yes, I have a couple things. Tomorrow, the seniors will do their monthly meeting, and we have Royal Polynesian dancers coming. And senior exercise class is always going well. And I spoke with Vera about this today. I would like to kind of revamp the senior program. And since we do the senior exercise class once a month after class, probably on the second Wednesday of the month, just to have like a kind of like a senior drop-in and have refreshments, and they can socialize from 1 to 2. And then once a quarter have some type of outing, whether we go to a museum or to the Morton Arboretum, the Botanical Gardens. So that would be 4 times a year. So in March, they really like to have this group called Switchback. So that would be our first quarter thing. And then probably in May, we would go to the Botanical Gardens or Morton Arboretum. August, I would help Vera with the State Fair trip. And if they were concerned about the walking, we could get a tram to drive them around. And then for the last quarter, we do a Christmas party with entertainment. And recently it's been at the golf club. So we'll probably at least go back there this year, but then after that we might go other places. So I would like to try that for the year 2019. And I don't know if we need to put this on the agenda for next month and we need to formally vote on it. Or
I think that when it comes time to budgets,
Right.
that's when, you know,
That in there.
yeah, that's what and I think with the budget that we already currently have budgeted for the remainder that, you know, I'm planning to work within those confines of those budgets.
We should think about the state fair. Since we had a full bus
Yeah.
this time, we may even have to go with 2 buses or maybe 2 smaller buses, something on that order. So
Yeah, that's,
We'll look
you
at
know,
that.
fine, and I'm assuming we'll probably go on that second Saturday of August again.
Probably. All right, well, thank you very much.
Wait, one more thing. Tom, do you want to talk about the website?
Yeah, we met with Via Digirati, who's a local web designer and hosting company over in the arcade building. And she had some great ideas. I think she can meet our needs. A friend of hers works, what township was that they were talking about? But her friend just redesigned
I think it was Downers Grove.
Downers Grove Township, redesigned their website and won an award, and she said she could do the same high-quality work for us. I've worked with her in the past, and she's really responsive, and her websites are adaptable. So you get a website, and then if you have a need, you can update it. It's easy to upload schedules. It's a very organic type of website that can change to meet the needs that we have.
So, I think the next step in updating our website would be for the people that you, Tom, and myself, and you, and Fran, to meet and start making or typing out the preliminary information that we want on there. Mm-hmm. So we can give that. And also part of this meeting was that once she designs the website, that Andrew could do the maintenance on it.
That's what I wanted to.
Yeah, that was.
It's not one of those where you have to go.
No, you're not paying $100 every time you need to.
You know, that was when she first came in. I said, you know, that's one of our #1 things is that our tech guy can update it.
And during the discussion, we realized that the township's going to have a pretty static website where we'll update our schedules and that kind of thing, but the assessor is going to really benefit from the upgraded website. I mean, the communication and the transparency and the ease of use, I think, will just skyrocket for the assessor's office. So we'll have the shell, and here's our, sign up, so you can sign up for the senior trip and all that kind of stuff. But I think the real advantage to the township is going to be the assessor's office.
And as I was saying, Fran, I was out of town, so Fran emailed me the forms and told me exactly how to appeal my taxes. And I did it all online, following her instructions, and it probably took me less than an hour. Right. So, if we have, those instructions on there in the forms, people can just, download and do it themselves, and that might lessen the burden a little bit.
Right.
On her.
Very good. Okay. So did you want to schedule any kind of a meeting at this point?
Yeah, that's fine with me. We've been meeting on the lunch hour.
That works. Does that work for you, Tom?
My phone is dead, so I can't access my schedule right now.
I will say I am traveling next week from Tuesday till Friday, so next week is out for me. So that's what
Can we just send the emails around?
Sure.
What about?
Give me a few dates and then we can have Tom check his calendar.
Yeah, and Jen needs to be there.
So do you think the last week of this month would?
Yeah, Wednesday.
Wednesday the 26th?
The 26th is good. Thursday the 27th. And then the next week I can do I could do the 4th or the 5th.
Okay. I will. Okay. The 4th I might not be able to.
Okay, and
I'm not
actually-
sure. I'm not sure how long it goes.
Okay.
I'll be at an IMRF workshop that morning.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, okay. Oh, and I can actually do October 2nd too.
Okay, so I will send that out October 2nd or the 5th and September 26th
Yeah,
or 27th. So I'll send that to the people and make sure that Fran would be available as well.
Right, so at 12 or 12:30, whatever, our first meeting we met here, the meeting Tom and I had with the web developer, we met at my house. So either place is fine,
Okay.
whatever works out best for everybody, and as I said, I'll bring in some lunch
It was good.
for people.
Yes, it was.
It
Okay.
wasn't my usual pizza and salad. Turkey sandwiches.
All right, then I will reach out and we'll probably have Andy present too. All right, I will reach out with those dates and see when everybody's availability is. Thank you. Did you have anything else to report while
No,
you have the floor? Okay.
I think I'm good.
Trustee Drop-In, anything?
Should we enter this into the minutes or the
I don't think
record?
so right now.
We're not ready for it?
That's why, but I will, Jennifer did kind of give us a preliminary price quote,
Okay,
and I can forward that email
I'd appreciate that.
to
And
everybody
then I'll
so
share
they
it
can.
with everybody.
Oh, you want to forward it to you and you'll share it?
Sure.
Okay, and that's just a snapshot. We're not obligated to go with her. We're just, trying to move this forward
Okay,
and stuff.
very good. Thank you. Trustee Lupford, did you have anything else? I'll leave Trustee Heilenbach for last, since you also then will go into the mental health.
Mental Health Board, first off, Brookfield's 125th birthday is on November 3rd at Kiwanis Park and at Grossdale Station. I will be in attendance for that. The mental health boards, the next meeting will be September 19th at 7 o'clock in this room, and we will be reconvening after the summer. That's the end of my report.
Thank you very much. Any questions for any of the trustees before we move on?
I know, isn't the state celebrating a big birthday in December?
Yes.
Are we going to do anything? We talked about this once, didn't we?
We have not scheduled anything. I can see what kind of, it's the sesquicentennial, is it, or the 200th bicentennial?
So is there 200
Yes, yes.
anniversary? I mean, and that's when, in December?
That is in December, yes. But, and I was just talking to, if I may, I was just talking to our supervisor the other day about this. I think it's never too soon to start looking at us. Our township will be 150 years old in 2 years.
Yes.
Is that correct?
In
Right.
2020.
Right. So I think we need to be prepared to start planning whatever that may be. But I think we should just keep that on our radar.
Oh, absolutely. Maybe we should have a big party up in the auditorium.
Hey, I'm just saying, it should be on everybody's radar.
That's okay.
Okay. Let me do a little research on what some of the things that.
We could even, pass out cupcakes at the holiday stroll.
That's true.
The little miniature cupcakes and,
Have a little Illinois on it or something.
yeah, if we can get it on there or just, have one smaller cake that says, happy 200th birthday Illinois, and then pass out cupcakes and then cut that up towards the end. I mean, there's lots of things we could do.
Yeah.
Take out an ad. Oh, in our newsletter. Maybe we should acknowledge that.
Definitely.
So it can be on the new website.
If any of you have any other ideas, just pass them along and we'll do a little pricing or research on that. Thank you very much. All right, then we have unfinished business. You have still another, well, I sent all of you the latest draft of the town hall use. And I have applied the various questions or recommendations that Trustee Drapka had sent to me. And did anybody else have any other things that we should do before we actually go to approve this policy?
I think it was wonderful. I think, after a good year of discussion and everything, I for one definitely feel confident in voting on this and passing this and putting this into place. I mean, I know that supervisor and a lot of us worked hard on this, and I'm very pleased with the policy and the new policy, and I think it's just going to be a wonderful asset to the residents of the township.
Thank you.
I do have a few questions. I do apologize for not being here last meeting. On the second page, 1, 2, 3, 4, 15, and then at the bottom it says violations of policy may result in future use being denied. I think we also need to say and deposit being forfeit. I think we need to explicitly state that if you violate these terms, you will forfeit your deposit. Because nowhere do we say, if you do this, then that happens. I mean, we require a security deposit, but we don't explicitly lay out what it's for. And it would just be and or security deposit would be forfeit. I just move that we amend, put those 6 words on at the end of that sentence. Because there's no mechanism in here to take the security deposit.
I thought there was something in the back about the security deposit being revoked if it wasn't,
I thought so, but it's
It's not
very
a-
possible that in all the different
Right.
drafts that it fell aside. I'm not sure.
I think it'd just be a, smart thing to, they can't then say, well, you never said how we lose our deposit. Well, now if you violate one of these 15, it can be forfeit. So my suggestion would be violations of policy may result in future use being denied and/or deposit being forfeit.
And maybe if there's any damage,
Well, that's already, I mean, that's
Okay,
part of
all right.
it. So I'll find the right wording to include that violation of the policies would forfeit besides just the damage that the deposit is
Right.
collected for.
And then I do just want to confirm that the events serving alcohol require board approval, that we are not liable if something happens when alcohol is being served.
That's why we require the user and the servers
Right.
to provide us with proof of insurance that names us as additional insured.
Okay, but individuals as well. I've seen lawsuits, crazy lawsuits. They can throw our names in there as individuals.
And they usually will.
Right, so I would like some liability protection from that eventual lawsuit.
aren't we covered under number 3 where, because if it is a private event, we require that the individual puts it on and
Right.
takes all responsibility on his
And I
or
don't think
her
it's
own.
the appropriate place here, but somewhere,
It's on here. That's what I'm saying, it's on here.
okay, but I'd still like to see the individual trustees have some coverage. If I don't want to have to hire a lawyer to defend.
We're
us.
already covered, we're already
That's what we
covered.
already pay insurance for, so
Yes.
that you would be
Can I
indemnified
get
for
that?
anything like that.
Assurances from our lawyer? I mean,
He was here.
yeah, I know, and again, I apologize for missing the meeting.
No, not for that. He
I
was-
will make sure that we're covered, but that is what we insure,
Yeah,
what we're insured for, so.
right. I just double check, triple check.
Okay.
My wife tells me that,
Okay. This is why
You're
people
married,
don't
right?
like to run for office because of the liabilities.
exactly. And then as far as the security goes, the township reserves the right to require the hiring of a security guard depending on anticipated attendance. If we don't require a security guard and something happens, are we then liable? If we say, oh, you don't need it, don't worry, we pass on.
Can we be sued? Yeah.
Right.
Can we
Sued at any
prove that
time.
we've done our due diligence?
Mm-hmm.
Also, yes.
Could we, I think we should pass this. I think it's been a long time coming, a lot of hard work. But maybe we have a policy on when security guards are required or not. Explicitly state. And then we would just be doing a pro forma vote according to our policy, not, well, I like that guy or I don't like that guy. So maybe in the future we write a supporting policy under that so we can point to what guided our decision. It's written as is, I'm fine with it, except for the forfeit deposit. But I think we need to develop that underlying policy on when we require a security guard.
I make a motion we accept this policy with trustee Lufer's addition about when they forfeit their deposit.
I second.
Give it to him. He's been working on
I
it.
have a motion by trustee Clark, second by trustee Drapka, to approve the policies for building use with the provisos mentioned here for forfeiture of deposit, as mentioned by trustee Lupfer. Any other discussion? Hearing none, would you please call the roll since this is such a major?
Trustee Clark?
Yes.
Trustee Drapka?
Yes.
Trustee Hollenbach.
Yes.
Trustee Lupfer.
Yes.
Supervisor Wilt.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. And then we have, I don't know if you have any additional questions or thoughts on the acoustical panels, the proposal that was given to us at the last meeting? Or if you want to take action, or if you still want to think about
I
this.
was under the impression that they were gonna test it out or something like that. Wasn't he gonna test it out, or, I
Well-
thought that's where we left last meeting with that.
In terms of this room?
That he was gonna test it out, like we wouldn't have to purchase something, but he was gonna, because
I
we were.
don't recall
I don't
that.
remember anything
No.
about being tested.
No,
I thought that was the case. It's all right.
no, not that I recall or that I remember him offering. I mean, I don't know that we could get any kind of samples. I can inquire, but that was.
Well,
That's what
no
we're
need.
talking about, Trustee Drapka, was samples that we could, for a pattern,
I see.
that,
Oh, maybe that's
that's
it.
it. I don't recall anything with,
Right, because you were looking at the
Yeah.
aesthetics of it.
Yeah.
Was there discussion why there's only 2 walls instead of the third
Well,
wall?
this wall is used as a projection screen,
No, all right.
which,
Right.
right.
Is this the thing where the TV crew had input or wanted to have some input?
Well, this is where they indicated that if we're going to look at acoustic modifications, if we could do something about the auditorium,
Oh,
because
okay.
that is such a big empty barrel that the sound just bounces all over and.
I make a motion that we approve this.
All right, I have a motion to approve purchase of acoustical panels for this room, per the proposal?
Yes.
Yes, as proposed. Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
I have a motion and a second to approve acoustical panels for this room, and we would certainly look at something that would blend in quite a bit. I don't think we're going to contrast in here. Any further discussion?
The one point I would ask is, since we're not the only board having meetings recorded in here, would we be able to split this cost with the other entities that are using the room for said purposes?
I think the building is our responsibility, so I wouldn't want to call upon
Yeah.
others, because besides the village, there's other events that occur in this room, so then what are we going to start charging people individually? I would rather not do that, but
I
it's up
agree
to.
with Vera that the building's our responsibility.
Yeah. Especially since the village is now looking at some other
Yes, that's
other
kind of a-
facilities, so let's not rock the boat here. All right, then, I have a motion and a second to approve the proposal of Future Technology Systems. If anybody wants some input on the actual looks or the kind of fabric we work with, you're most welcome to stop in the office and give me your choices. Clerk Blau, would you please call the roll on this?
Trustee Clark.
Yes.
Trustee Drapka.
Yes.
Trustee Hollenbach.
yes.
Trustee Lupfer.
Yes.
Supervisor Wilt.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All righty. Then, there being nothing else on the agenda but warrants, Trustee Drapka, would you please present the warrants?
Yes, I move that the board authorize and ratify payment of the bills identified in the general warrants for September of 2018 in the amount of $9,568.58 as presented to the board on this 11th day of September.
I'll second it.
I have a motion and a second to accept the general warrants for September 2018 in the amount of $9,568.58. Any objection? Then, Clerk Blau, would you please call the roll?
Trustee Clark?
Yes.
Trustee Drapka?
Yes.
Trustee Hollenbach?
Yes.
Trustee Lupfer?
Yes.
Supervisor Wilt?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Make a motion that we ratify and authorize payments in the amounts indicated in the following warrants: utility warrant, 0; payroll warrant, $14,288.76; health warrant, 0; grants, 0; petty cash, 0; general assistance warrant in the amount of $300, as presented to the board on this 11th day of September.
You know what, in looking at this, I see that we actually do have one item. There was a big 0 on the utility warrant, but there actually was an
The
expenditure.
night corps, yes.
So would you like to
I
revise
amend my
that?
motion for the night corps in the amount of
$126.93.
$126.93.
Okay. Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
I have a motion and second to approve the following warrants. That would be the utility warrant in the amount of $126.93, payroll warrant in the amount of $14,288.76, the general assistance warrant in the amount of $300, and that is it. Clerk Blau, would you please call the roll?
Trustee Clark?
Yes.
Trustee Drapka?
Yes.
Trustee Hollenbach?
Yes.
Trustee Lupfer?
Yes.
Supervisor Wilt?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you very much. There being nothing more on our agenda, I will entertain
Second.
motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. Motion is carried.